myself Bautik Trivedi, working as an assistant professor in IT ICT department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. I will explain you the concept of message authentication code in information and network security subject. So first of all of you know the concept of message authentication. So what do you mean by message authentication? So already you know the combination of message plus authentication, that is known as a message authentication. So with using the different technique, you apply the message authentication. Which particular technique, that's the part of the message authentication? So one, that is the hash function, then after the simple hash function, using the concept of the confidentiality, using the concept of the authentication, using the concept of the digital signature. So these all are the concepts that's the part of message authentication. So here in today's session, fully focus on the concept of message authentication code, that is also known as a MAC, M-A-C, that is also known as a MAC. So let's start with this. So first of all, what do you mean by message authentication? What's the definition behind the message authentication code? So here you just see, whenever a simple small fixed size block of data, that is known as a concept of cryptographic checksum or MAC. So that is also known as a cryptographic checksum, or that is also known as a MAC. And whenever you generating any particular MAC, here you just see in this, MAC is equal to C in bracket K comma M. So what is the meaning of that? So C means that is known as a cryptographic checksum, K means what? That is the key, and M means what? That is the message. So whenever you apply the cryptographic checksum on a particular message with using the key, that is known as a concept of MAC, that is known as a message authentication code. Must remember one thing, whenever you generating any particular MAC, MAC is always appended to the message. So here you just see the second line. So the MAC is always appended to the message. So that's the definition of the MAC. So must remember one thing, small fixed size block of data, that is known as a concept of MAC, and MAC is always appended to the message. And how I generate the MAC and what's the formula behind that? So MAC is equal to C in bracket K comma M. M means what? Message, K means what? Key, and C means what? That is the cryptographic checksum. After that, how I apply, how I generate the message authentication code. So one technique for that, and with using the symmetric key encryption or asymmetric key encryption. So all of you know, whenever you apply the symmetric key encryption at the encryption side as well as the decryption side using the same key, and if you talk about the concept of asymmetric key encryption or public key cryptography, at that time encryption side using the private key, decryption side using the public key, encryption side using the public key, decryption side using the private key. So this is the different technique for the encryption, either using the symmetric encryption or using the asymmetric encryption. So here you just see how I generate the MAC. So that's the diagram for generating a MAC. So here you just see, well, first of all, one message is there. In this particular message, you apply the cryptographic checksum function. But all of you know, whenever you applying the cryptographic checksum function on a message, at that time using the concept of K. What is the meaning of K here? K means key. So whenever you write this, that can be treated as C in bracket K comma M. After that, whatever the cryptographic checksum you generate here, and must remember one thing, cryptographic checksum is also known as a MAC. MAC means what? Message authentication code. So after that, one M is there, that is the message, and then after the C, K comma M, that is known as a cryptographic checksum. So that is directly passed to the M and then C, K comma M. So this is the generation of the message authentication code. And how you verify the MAC at the receiver side? So at that time again you apply the cryptographic checksum on a receiver side, and whatever the MAC you generate, that is directly compared with the receiver side MAC if both MAC containing the same value. So you can directly say that that's the proper authentication concept. So here you just see in this particular statement, the receiver is assured that the message has not been altered. If an attacker alters the message but does not alter the MAC, must remember one thing. If any attacker is there, an attacker directly altering the message but not altering the MAC, then receiver calculation of MAC will differ from the receive MAC. So must remember one thing, whenever attacker attacking anything, it altering the message, at the same time it alter the MAC also. If not altering the MAC, so receiver's MAC and the receive MAC both containing the different value. So this is the most important thing in a concept of MAC. After that, why we require the message authentication? What's the need behind the message authentication? So that is around 8 steps. Must remember the name of each and every terminology. First one, disclosure, the technical word. What is the meaning of disclosure here? Disclosure means release of message content. Second one, traffic analysis. What is the meaning of traffic analysis here? It discovery of the pattern of the traffic between the two parties. That is known as a traffic analysis. Third one, that is known as a masquerade. What is the meaning of masquerade? Masquerade means one entity pretends to be another entity. So whenever an insertion of a message into the network and this particular message inserted by one fraudulent source, fraud, all of you know what is the meaning of fraud. So that is inserted by the fraudulent source. After that, 3 types of modification. One, that is known as a content modification. Second one, that is known as a sequence modification. And third one, that is known as a timing modification. What is the meaning of each and every concept? Content modification means what? It changes the content of the message. What is the meaning of sequence modification? Any modification to a sequence of message between the two parties. And timing modification that can be considered as a delay or replay of a message. Means whatever the message you transmit between the two parties, you applying the delay on that, you applying the replay, that can be considered as a concept of timing modification. After that, 2. One, that is known as a source repudiation. Second one, that is known as a destination repudiation. What is the difference between that? Source repudiation means what? Denial of the transmission of message by a source, means denying. And destination repudiation means denial of receipt of a message by destination. So why we require the message authentication in security? The main need for the message authentication that contain this 8 particular technique. After that, this particular technique under the which category? This particular technique, that's the part of which functionality? So here you just see in this particular figure, disclosure and traffic analysis. That is that require message confidentiality. What is the meaning of message confidentiality? What is the meaning of message authentication? And what is the meaning of digital signature? So here you just see disclosure and traffic analysis, that is the part of message confidentiality. Masquerade, content modification, sequence modification and timing modification, that is the part of message authentication. And source repudiation and destination repudiation, that is the part of digital signature. So whatever the 8 requirements, these 8 requirements divided into 3 categories. One category, that is the confidentiality. Second category, that is the authentication. Third category, that is the digital signature. So that's all about the requirement of the message authentication. After that, which particular techniques, that's the part of message authentication. So here you just see, all of you know mainly 2 types of encryption. One, that is known as a symmetric encryption. Second one, that is known as a public key encryption. Public key encryption is also known as asymmetric encryption, and symmetric encryption is also known as secret key encryption. So first diagram, in this particular screen, total number of diagrams, that's the 4 diagram. First diagram represent the symmetric encryption with confidentiality and authentication. And must remember one thing, whenever you applying the confidentiality, whenever you applying the authentication with using the symmetric key encryption. So here you just see, first of all, message is there. In this particular message you apply the encryption, and all of you know in encryption algorithm using the key. So whatever you generate, that is known as a E, K, N, that can be considering as a ciphertext also. After that you apply the decryption on that, but must remember one thing, encrypt with the K, so decrypt with the K. That's why that is known as a symmetric key encryption. So that's all about the diagram number 1. Diagram number 2, using the concept of confidentiality. Must remember one thing, whenever you talk about the confidentiality in a security, so at that time the receiver private key, that's the part of decryption. Receiver's private key, that's the part of the decryption. So here you just see, first of all, message, then after I apply the encryption, but encryption with using the which key? Public key of the receiver. After that whatever I generate, that is known as a ciphertext. Then after decryption, but in a decryption using the private key of the receiver, and whatever I receive, that is known as a concept of confidentiality. So must remember one thing, in confidentiality always using the private key of the receiver. After that authentication and signature. So at that time using the private key of the sender. So message is there, encryption algorithm is there, private key is there, but private key for which one? For the sender's private key. So that is the PRA, and the receiving side means decryption side using the public key of the sender. So that is known as a concept of authentication and signature. After that, last one, if I apply the confidentiality, authentication and signature within a one particular diagram. So the diagram for that, first of all, message is there. Then after you apply the encryption algorithm on that with using the which key? So private key of the sender. So private key of the sender means first of all I apply the authentication. Whatever I receive, that is known as a EPRAM. After that again I apply the encryption with using the which key? Public key of the receiver. So whatever I receive, that can be treated as EPUB, EPRAM. After that, at the decryption side, using the private key of the receiver, and after receiving this, again I apply the another decryption with using the which key? Public key of the sender. So this is the technique for the message authentication concept or the message authentication code concept. Must remember 4 technique name. First one, symmetric key encryption with confidentiality and authentication. Second one, public key encryption with confidentiality, public key encryption with authentication and signature, and public key encryption with confidentiality, authentication and signature. After that, message authentication code technique number 2. So what is the meaning of that? Here you just see whatever I talk currently. First of all, message is there. Then after you pass C means cryptographic checksum function, applying the key on that. Then after whatever I receive, again you apply the encryption on that with using the K2. So here this technique is known as message authentication and confidentiality, but in this authentication tied to the plain text. What is the reason? What is the reason behind that? So authentication tied to the plain text means what? So at that time you apply the cryptographic checksum on a particular message. So that's why that is known as a authentication tied to a plain text. But in case of this, one message is there. In this you apply the encryption algorithm on that, and then after you applying the cryptographic checksum on that, that's why this particular technique is known as authentication tied to a ciphertext. So whenever you talk about the message authentication code technique, so mainly 2 techniques here. One, The authentication tied to the plain text and authentication tied to the ciphertext. After that, whatever the diagram here I put, that remain same. Means logic remain as it is. You apply the decryption, you apply the cryptographic checksum, then after you comparing this thing, that remain as it is. So this is the most important thing. Message authentication code technique number 1, message authentication code technique number 2. After that, some of the important parameters related to the message authentication code. So which particular authentication technique you applying for the message authentication? So mainly 3. First one, already you know the concept of the hash function. Why we use the hash function? So whenever I applying the hash function on a particular message, it directly generating a h of m. And what is the meaning of h of m? So h of m is known as a hash code. H of m is also known as a hash code. Second one, that is the message encryption, and third one, that is the message authentication code. So this is the talk about the authentication technique. That's the part of that. After that, application of MAC. What is the meaning of application of MAC? What is the meaning of unicasting, multicasting, and broadcasting? Unicasting means what? One to one. Broadcasting means what? One to many. And multicasting means what? One to a group of people. So that is known as a multicasting. So application of MAC, the number 1. Broadcast message to a number of destination. Means you directly sending the message, you directly broadcasting the message to a number of destination. That is the application of MAC. Second one. Second application, one side in a communication has a heavy load and cannot afford the time to decrypt the all incoming message. So that is the another application. And third one, authentication of a computer program in plain text only. So this is the most important application of MAC. And then after the last point related to the MAC, which kind of attack, that's the part of MAC. Which kind of security you provide on a MAC. So generally 2 type of attack. One, that is known as a brute force attack, and second one, that is known as a cryptanalysis. But if you categorize brute force attack into the different attack, so mainly 2 techniques for that. One, either you applying the attacking the key size or you attacking the MAC value. And all of you know how I generate the MAC value. Message authentication code value, how I generate this. And cryptanalysis, how many types of attack you know? So in cryptanalysis, non-ciphertext, non-plain text, chosen ciphertext, chosen plain text, chosen text, each and every, that's the part of the cryptanalytic attack. But here must remember the name. If I want to apply the security of MAC, if I want to apply the attacks on MAC, so total 2, brute force and cryptanalysis. But in brute force, fully focus on either the key space or the MAC value. So that's all about this session. Must remember, in today's session, the fully focus on the concept of MAC. After that, how I generate the MAC. Then after the requirement of the MAC. Then after the total number of techniques of MAC. Which particular technique, that's the authentication technique, application of MAC, and security of MAC. So that's all about the today's session. Thank you for watching.